welcome to Pathways to Success, a program that supports our micro, small, and medium enterprises here on BNC, the Billionaire News Channel. I'm Mai Rodriguez. In a world where self-care is increasingly prioritized, the beauty and wellness industry in the Philippines is thriving. It's fascinating to see how innovative treatments and accessible services empower people to feel and look their best. I'm joined by Arlene, Cris, Damot, and David Jayabalan of Royal Aesthetics for their insights and experiences in the industry. Hi, Arlene and David. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mai, for having us.
Thank you, Mai, for having us.
Here. You know, the beauty and wellness industry is growing and thriving with more women and men realizing how important self-care is. So let's start with your background. Arlene, you have, a background in dermatology and surgery, and it laid a strong foundation for your career. So how did that experience shape your approach to aesthetics?
Yes, so I'm a registered nurse and I used to work in Malaysia, specializing in dermatology and surgery. So I decided to open up an aesthetic clinic to,
give services.
Where was your first clinic and when did you open
our first
the first
clinic?
one?
We opened it in Parañaque City.
Oh.
We started at a very small, just a 36 square meter clinic.
Yeah. What year was this?
2018.
2018.
February.
And now, how many clinics do you have now?
6 at the moment.
6 clinics from just one in 2018. What about you, David? Tell us a little bit about your background and what has your journey been like in the beauty and wellness industry?
Yeah, basically I never had any experience in aesthetics. I was always a corporate person. Somehow after I married Arlene, she's always into beauty. And she always wanted to open up a business, something to do with beauty. And she suggested that we move to the Philippines to open up an aesthetic business. To me, it was Greek. I didn't know what it was all about. But I said, okay, let's do this because that's her passion. So when we moved here in 2018, and she went for the aesthetic courses and she finished all that. And then we opened it in February, actually February 14, a very significant day, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
Yes.
We opened the branch in Parañaque. And it was a very small, humble beginnings, a very small outfit, just doing simple things like facials and foot spas and things like that. As we progressed, we felt that we need to introduce something more. Just doing that is not enough. So she came up with ideas like, we should do something like doctor services, Botox, threads, fillers.
Yes.
And we got in some registered board certified doctors. And we started to introduce these services. And we felt that, wow, there's a lot of demand.
Yes.
People were coming from everywhere.
That's
to our
true.
clinics.
But what was the catalyst where you thought of doing something more, adding more services? What was it that triggered that idea?
As we said, people were talking about it. Isn't there anything else that you can introduce? We need more than just facials and
So
foot
people
spas.
were looking for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And at that time, it was not that popular. It was starting to be introduced. So we said, we better jump on the bandwagon, otherwise we're going to be left behind.
Yeah.
So that's where we started to do that.
I'm curious about how you met because you are Malaysian and you were working in Malaysia before. So how did you meet and what were your first impressions about each other?
Well, basically, it was a very funny story because I never knew her, she never knew me. We actually met in a function. And somehow we clicked, we just started talking and things started rolling and the rest is history. Just within a year, then we got married. We decided to get married.
So Arlene, how long were you working in Malaysia?
Since 2013 up to 2017.
So you were a nurse there?
Yes, I was a nurse there.
So how did your relationship blossom into a business partnership?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, she's got this thing all about beauty and she's very entrepreneurial. Always wants to do some business instead of working. So she got tired of working. So she kept telling me that, I want to do something more. I want to do my own business, something to do with beauty. So we were thinking of all avenues, even hair, even makeup. But then, end of the day, somebody told her about aesthetics. So that's where she came up to me and she told me about aesthetics. And that's how it all started.
Yes,
actually.
and what are your qualities as entrepreneurs that help you now manage your business?
Oh, well, basically, you know, with the knowledge that we have, with her passion for beauty, that is what drives us to move forward and introduce better services. Everybody in the Philippines like to look pretty. Everybody wants to be white, good looking. So it's a good business. So that's a motivation for us to actually start to expand. And as I was mentioning earlier, our next step is actually opening a surgery center, which is being built right now.
Okay.
So that will be our 7th Avenue, and it's going to be full-blown surgery. So hopefully by December, we'll have that up and running. So we're excited for that one.
Wow, exciting expansion plans and
Yes.
growing the business. But
Exactly.
you mentioned everyone wants to look beautiful. So when it comes to achieving beauty, what is your core principle? And is it important for quality care to be, you know, affordable and also accessible, David?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the motto or the thing that Royal looks at is beauty for everyone. That's our motto anyway. That's our tagline. And our pricing is very important. We are quite competitive in the market. Today, there's so many aesthetics in the market, you know, so you have to be competitive. And we want to give everybody opportunity to look beautiful. So affordability, marketing is very important. How you reach out to the right audience, which expertise, that's her expertise.
Yes.
Right. Me, more operations.
Okay.
Her expertise is there. So that's how we reach out and give everyone the opportunity.
I'd like to explore that further, getting that competitive edge. But first, we have to take a quick break. When we come back, we will dive into beauty and skincare trends and get business tips on creating great client experience. Stay with us. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. We're excited to have Arlene Damot and David Jayabalan of Royal Aesthetics fresh off their impressive wins at this year's Blue Diamond Excellence Award and Breakthrough Award. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you so
What
much.
do these awards mean to you?
Of course, that means that we are promoting these specific awards, and it is very popular in the market. Specifically, this Diamond Award is more on what's that called, skin boosters, and what are they called?
Restylane brands and
They're-
Sculptra
yeah.
under Galderma.
Exactly. It's a filler kind of thing, which actually produces collagen and keeps people young. So we were one of the top achievers for this award from Galderma.
So everybody's talking about fillers now. I think it's very popular. So Arlene, tell us about, you know, like, are people still concerned about safety with fillers?
Yeah. We have a lot of actually inquiries if it's actually really safe. So one of our edge is our doctors are board certified and well trained.
Products are, of course, all
Products are-
genuine.
And you can't just get fillers anywhere. You have to make
you
sure
have to
that
buy it
these are.
from authorized dealers,
Yes.
and
Yes.
like Galderma for that matter. Yes.
So now, well, the beauty and skincare industry is very competitive, like you said. So speaking of trends, like fillers, aside from fillers, what are the other trends now when it comes to services? And is it important to have a niche?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yes, basically, it's very important that you always introduce new services, right? To be in the market, to be in the trend, you cannot be giving them the same services all the time. We always need to come out, we need to be innovative, come out with new services, new machines, new products. Everything is changing right now in this world of beauty, right? Even recently, in fact, last year, if I'm not wrong, Arlene attended the training in Israel. It was a conference about new machines, which will actually enhance your beauty, laser machines. You know, instead of using the usual way of doing facials, there's lasers that you can do to enhance your beauty. So you have to keep up with the trend. Of course, you got to spend money to travel. You got to spend money to buy the machines. You have to keep up with the trend. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind.
Yes.
So, you know, it's very important.
Yeah, I'm very interested, Arlene, about where is this going? Speaking of, when it comes to trends, so fillers are very popular. What are the other, the
Other
top
treatments.
3 popular
Yeah.
treatments?
I can say that the top 3 treatments in Royal Aesthetics are, of course, number 1 is fillers. Secondly is Botox or botulinum toxin injections. And the third would be thread lift. So yes, all these treatments are actually all non-surgical. So some of them, like you can just do, it's like a lunchtime treatment kind of thing, and there's no downtime. So the next day.
So this goes not just for Royal Aesthetics, but also across the board, right?
Yes.
Like these are the top 3 treatments now, the most popular.
Yes, I must say.
Okay, so but what
It's
is
really
your
in demand.
Yes, in demand. So what is your positioning in the market? What is your approach to business, David?
Basically, if you want to be successful in business, you have to make sure that you provide the best service in the market. Everybody is giving, as we mentioned just now, everybody is doing the same thing. But
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you need to be different, you need to put yourself to be a different people. Like when somebody comes to your clinic, you make them feel welcome. You have to tell them what we are doing next. What's the next step that we're going to do? If you're going to do a facial, right? The girl who's going to do the facial has to tell us what's the next step which is going to come. You don't let them just suddenly feel something warm, something hot, something pricky. So you have to go walk through with them so that they feel comfortable. They know what to expect. This is the extra service that you can give. And as I mentioned earlier, always introduce new services. Always make sure that we are on top of the latest trends.
Innovation is very important.
Otherwise, you could be left behind, as I say.
Exactly. So Arlene, aside from running an aesthetics business, you're also a beauty queen. You joined a pageant before, and also you saw that there was a need for you to put up a clinic here in 2018. What was that thing that inspired you to go into this business?
Yeah. So one of my advocacies is women empowerment through aesthetics, and also 99% of our employees are women.
Yeah. Yeah, and your platform
Yeah.
is also shining a light on violence against women.
Yeah,
that was
violence
your
against
advocacy when you were joining the pageant scene. Yeah, tell us more about this advocacy.
Yeah. So violence against women. Sorry.
So in addition to that advocacy, you're also, you mentioned your clinic employs mostly women. So you have initiatives in place in the business that support also your women employees?
Definitely. I mean, basically, we want to make sure that all these women are given employment, as her advocacy says. And in fact, 99.99% is ladies. There's only got one guy in our clinic. So the approach is to make sure that these people are employed, because everybody has got a family to feed, So that's the reason why we employ most ladies. And again, in these services, ladies are more tender, are more loving when they're doing some kind of thing like this. So it's very nice to actually give them that opportunity. Yes.
So employing mostly women, you said only one guy
In fact, he's
all
gay.
of
To
in
be
all of
honest.
your Royal Aesthetics
Yes.
clinics.
Yes.
So like benefits for the women employees, what can they enjoy?
All the government services that we need to give them the what do you call the perks, everything is there. In fact, some of them even have loans that we give them because they want to improve their lifestyle. They want to enhance their homes. We also give them loans. So these are the things that we help them, in a way, which they may not get elsewhere. So that's how we do this.
Okay, so David, I'd like to ask you about Arlene. What does she bring to the business? Because her expertise is beauty.
Correct.
She excels both in beauty and the business as well.
Right.
Tell us about how is the working dynamic between the two of you?
Well, basically, we have each of us have our own field that we're expert in. Me more on operations. As far as Arlene is concerned, her expertise is, of course, the business knowledge on beauty, and the very important thing is she's very good in marketing. So without the right marketing, you don't reach the right target audience, and without the target audience, you don't get your business people coming to us. So that's her expertise. So that's very good. She's very good in that.
Okay, so Arlene, so you're very good in marketing. What are your tips to get more clients?
So of course you have to focus on what the client wants, And yeah.
Definitely on the marketing part, the social media platform is very important.
Yes.
We have a team of people in the office actually looking after each different avenues of the social media. We have different managers. And we also have a lot of influencers in our company because they are the one who actually is going to promote our services. The word of mouth is so important. Yeah, without them, I don't think we'll get all these businesses.
Yeah.
So-
social media, very important.
Yeah,
It
social
can
media is
help
very important.
anyone
Very.
go into business.
Correct.
So we will have to take another quick break, but
Sure.
don't go anywhere. Pathways to Success. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. We're still chatting with Arlene and David about their entrepreneurial journey in the beauty industry. Now, David, of course, establishing a new business often comes with hurdles. So I'd like to talk about the challenges that you faced and what did you learn from them?
Wow. As we mentioned, we opened this business not knowing what the future holds. Of course, there was so much of processes that were in place. We needed to get all the licensing, not knowing that where do we get our customers from. And as I said, we start small, yeah, because we don't know how it's going to go, right? So we opened up a very small business and we started to introduce services and we applied for the licensing and thankfully it was approved. And as we went along, as we said, the challenge was that the business was just stagnant, because there's nothing new that we are introducing. And that's where we started to think about things. And that's when, as I said earlier, Arlene came up with ideas that we should introduce doctor services.
Yes.
But then we need to have the right people in place, right?
But then the pandemic hit. How did you go
Exactly.
through that? That was 2020.
Well, within that period, we were actually excelling already. But when the pandemic hit, of course, we took a beating, right? Everybody did, the whole world did anyway. But since we were independently operating, not in the malls, when there were...
Yeah, you have a standalone clinic.
Correct,
Okay.
at that time, because there was the only one. We didn't have any other branch. We could open whenever there was an opening. There was sometimes relaxing time within that period. So we did open the clinics. People started calling us, are you open? So that was an encouragement for us to continue doing that. But of course, the challenging is that overheads are still there. How do we continue our business? But thank God that the business came in and we could sustain.
Yes.
Because we were small. That was important.
But then businesses started to bounce back after the pandemic.
Correct.
How do you feel about the continuous rise of new clinics in the market?
Well, we cannot stop that. Everybody has got the opportunity. Everybody wants to do businesses, right? Because they see that this industry seems to be booming. The clients which came to us when we were really at the peak, they kept getting excited. They wanted to have franchise. They wanted to partner us to open up businesses. But we were not ready then. We were not ready at all. We said, I'm so sorry. We just want to concentrate on what we're doing right now. Everybody can open business. Don't worry about competition. What's important is do what's the best we can do. Introduce, give the best service, give the best quality, and don't worry about the competition. Because competition is good, keeps you on your toes. Otherwise, you get complacent.
Yeah.
And then you feel that you're the only one, and that's not good. So I always believe in competition. But today, a lot of them have mushroomed up, a lot of them have succeeded, a lot of them have failed. So it all depends on, it's just not opening a business by itself. You need to know the right marketing, you need to have the right people, you need to introduce the right services. Products are important. You must use quality products. There are a lot of fakes in the market.
Yeah.
So be careful of what we're going to use.
And that's when you can get loyal customers who
Exactly.
return to you for your
Exactly.
services. And you also practice a customer-first approach. Tell us about feedback. How important is it that you listen to feedback? And how do you train your staff as well so that you make sure you're aligned to your vision?
Definitely. We have, of course, feedback through the social media. So whenever there's a client that has come to us and they're finished the services, we always encourage them, please go and leave a review. So if you're happy, Tell us. If you're not happy, tell us where we can improve. Of course, you cannot satisfy everybody's needs. Your need may be different from her needs than from mine. So we listen to all these kind of little things and try and see how we can make the best. And we also train the staff, telling them, look at the feedback that we get from the client. This is good, it's not bad. Whatever feedback that we get, you learn from it and improve and make sure it's better for the next experience.
Okay. Yes, Arlene, David said earlier it's important to make your clients feel special. So, do you give that personal touch to your clients? Diba dapat your clients would feel comfortable going to your clinics? How do you give that personal approach to your clients?
Personal approach.
You,
Yes.
you yourself.
Yeah,
Well,
you attend to the
as we
customers?
mentioned, she used to be hands-on in the first 2 years.
First 2 years.
That's where people come to her. They want to only let her use that services, do the services. But after 2 years, as I was telling Arlene, I think we have put in our effort. We have done everything we can. We need to take a step back and let other people start to run the business.
Yes.
We just monitor it and ensure everybody follows the line, toes the line. So at the moment, we do not get involved directly. Even
Just in the
herself.
operations and the marketing side
yeah.
nowadays.
Yes, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So looking
Since-
ahead now, what do you see shaping the future of the beauty and wellness industry, and how do you stay ahead of the curve? Like you said, it's important to innovate and come up with new services.
Exactly, that's the right
Yeah.
thing. You cannot, you must always keep in touch with what's happening in the market. What's going to be introduced, what's introduced. Make sure you go and train yourself for that services. Make sure there are new machines that needs to be introduced, all right? Money is very important, as I mentioned. You have to spend the money to bring in the machine so that everybody, and you cannot just have that service in one branch. When you do it, because we are 6, we have to replicate it everywhere. And that's going to cost money. So you always need to be ensure that training is important. Get the right medicine, new medicines are coming into play. Make sure it's there,
Trainings.
train, staff training, retrain. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. So that's very important.
Okay, very quickly, one advice that you can give to someone who is looking to start out in the beauty and wellness industry.
As I always say, start small because you don't know what the future holds. Test the market, test the waters, know what client wants. You listen to the client. Very important. What are you looking for? If you see that you have improved, you know, start expanding. You need to have enough money to ensure that you can invest on machines, invest on staff, good staff. All right? Get the right location. Do the right marketing. Because if you do not market, where are you going to get your clients? Because they don't need to come to you. You have to go to them. Pull them, drag them to your company. Why? Because we have whatever. So that is very important. You cannot just open a business, sit there and expect it to come to your feet. It's never going to do that. So you have to be always innovative. All right?
Great advice, David and Arlene. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having us. Really
Thank you so
appreciate your
much.
time.
Thank you for your insights today.
Sure.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Pathways to Success. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, your own path to success is always within reach. I'm Mai Rodriguez. I'll see you again tomorrow, only here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.